Good evening, everyone. This is Robert. RJL Network presents another exciting edition of Inside Pitch. The 1969 season is on the air. We got a good one tonight. Today's date is April 13th, 1969. We are at the beautiful cathedral of Shea Stadium in a big game early season matchup between the St. Louis Cardinals and the New York Mets. The Cardinals come into this game a record of 4-1. The Mets right now are 3-2 early on here in the first week of the 69 season. So, we think we got a pretty good matchup tonight as everyone here gets ready. Of course, tomorrow is the 4th of July. And I'm still going to have a game tomorrow night because what's the 4th of July without baseball, right? So tonight, a big matchup here at Shea Stadium between two of the greatest of all time. And when I saw this on the schedule for April 13th, I knew for a fact I had to do it no matter what. So everyone is set and ready to go. We got a good one tonight. Jeremy Brooks, Phoenix Knight, Brian Patterson, Brian B, and Vita Productions are first through the turnstiles here at Shea Stadium. The Cardinals historically won this game. The Cardinals 3 runs, 6 hits and an error. The Mets 1 run, 3 hits and an error. We'll see what Inside Pitch has to say as these two teams will go after each other. So we are all set and ready to go here at Shea Stadium. Section 518 is all set and ready. Section 518 has already had a couple of cold ones and ready to enjoy some Major League Baseball. So if it is okay with you, let's get right started. Starting pitcher for the New York Mets. Who else could it be? The great one, the franchise, the terrific one himself, Mr. Tom Seaver, Hall of Famer. Yeah. One of the greatest of all time. Yeah, and some people say he is the greatest of all time. That's very debatable. But only 2 pitchers in baseball history have over 300 wins, 3,000 strikeouts, and a career ERA under 3. Walter Johnson and Tom Seaver. If you're mentioning the same sentence with Walter Johnson, you're probably pretty good. Seaver had a good year in 69 too. 25 wins, 7 losses, a 2.21 ERA, 208 strikeouts, and 73 walks. Seaver gets the call tonight. Franklin Long joins us here now at Shea Stadium. I think it's the first time. I think it's the first time you've been here. If you're not, it's good to have you, sir, Mr. Long. Welcome. So a big matchup between these two. Seaver, of course, is on the mound. Let's see what the Cardinals have to say as we go to the top of the first. And they got a pretty good lineup themselves tonight. Leading off for the Redbirds will be the left fielder, Mr. Lou Brock, Hall of Famer. Yeah, and in my opinion, one of the greatest of all time. 298 average, 12 homers, 47 RBIs in 69. Before there was Ricky Henderson, there was Lou Brock. We're going to use blue, white, and orange dice. Mets are the home team. And we are all set and ready to go. The fans are ready. They are set. Let's play some big-time baseball. Seaver, 4-4, strikeout 11. Got him. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. First strikeout for Seaver. We are at Shea Stadium, a pitcher's park. Only 115 home runs hit there. Adds 3 to strikeouts. No adjustments to walks or home runs. Next batter will be the center fielder, Curt Flood. Pretty darn good player. 285 average, 4 homers, 57 RBIs in 69. Seaver will go ahead and pitch. Seaver, 4-6, strikeout 16. That will be high. Flood, 2-5. And against a righty, that's going to be a ground out to second base. That'll be taken care of by Wayne Garrett. And he will throw it over to first for out number 2. And that will bring up the right fielder, Vita Pinson. 255 average, 10 homers, 70 RBIs. I think he belongs in the Hall of Fame. I know some people don't think so, but he had 2,700 hits. I don't know why you don't put him in. I think Vita Pinson should be in the Hall. Seaver will go ahead and pitch. Seaver, 5-1. That's at the park. Shea Stadium, 4-5, and that's a fly ball hit to center field. Going after that is Tommy Agee, and he is going to get it and make the catch and retire the side. 1, 2, 3, go the Redbirds, and we'll go to the bottom of the first. Starting pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals. Well, you had one of the greatest of all time. You have another one, Mr. Bob Gibson, Hall of Famer. Yes, one of the greatest of all time. Yes, and in my opinion, the most intimidating right-hander in baseball history. 20 wins, 13 losses, a 2.18 ERA, 269 strikeouts, and 88 walks. If anybody knows about Bob Gibson, does anybody here believe that Bob Gibson was a man without fear? He certainly didn't have any. He was one of the hardest throwers ever. Bob Gibson. Oh, yeah. Not many a batter wanted to face him. Let's see what the Mets do in the bottom of the first. Leading off will be the center fielder, Tommy Agee, 271 average, 26 homers, 76 RBIs. Good year for 69. Gibson will pitch. Gibson, 3-2. That's a double question mark. Righty, 1 to 13's an out. That's a 3. That's what that's going to be. And it is going to be a fly ball to center field. Curt Flood will go ahead and get under it and make the catch. 1 out. Next batter will be the right fielder, Rod Gasper, 228 average, a homer and 14 RBIs. Gibson will go ahead and pitch. Gibson, 2-3 against the switch left. That's a blank. Gasper, 4-6, and it's a ground out to short. Taken care of by Dow Maxville, and he'll throw it over to first. And now the second baseman, Wayne Garrett, a 218 average, a homer, and 39 RBIs for the Mets in 69. Gibson will pitch. Gibson, 5-5, strikeout 12. That'll be a cold strike 3 on Garrett, and he is out of there. Strikeout number 1 for Gibson. And that is a 1-2-3 inning on the Mets. No score after 1. As Frank Rosenk joins us here at Shea Stadium. I think Bob Gibson was the most intimidating right-hander in baseball history. He does have a lefty. There is a left-hander equivalent of him, and that was Randy Johnson. Leading off for the Cardinals will be the first baseman, Joe Torre. He had a good year in 69, a 289 average, 18 homers, 101 RBIs. Nothing wrong with those stats. As we start the top of the second, Seaver will pitch. Seaver, 1-4, blank. No, got tired. Torre, 5-5, and that's a base hit. He'll hit that one into center field, and Torre leads off with a single. That will bring up the catcher, Tim McCarver. He's on the Cardinals. 260 average, 7 homers, 51 RBIs. Solid catcher in his career. Infield, a double play depth. Torre had no stolen bases, and he's not getting any here. Seaver will pitch. Seaver, 3-2, walk 2, and that's ball 4. So Seaver gives up the leadoff hit, and now he gives up a walk, and now the Cardinals have runners at first and second. And now the third baseman, Mike Shannon, 254 average, 12 homers, 55 RBIs in 69. Infield still at double play depth. Nothing on the 5, nobody moves. Seaver in a bit of a jam here in the top of the second. Seaver, 1-5. That's a walk, and that is a 1, and that is ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Seaver had 73 walks in 69, a little bit of control issues sometimes, but now the bases are loaded and no one out. Second walk given up by Seaver. And now the second baseman, Julian Javier, 282 average, 10 homers, 42 RBIs. Infield is going to play a double play depth and give up the run to try to get the 2 outs. Strategy roll, and nothing on the 8th. Seaver in a jam here in the top of the second. Seaver will pitch. Seaver, 5-5 against the righty. It's a blank. Javier, 5-5, and that's a ground ball to second base. They were in double play depth, not infield in. So they're going to try for the double play. 2, 3, 4. Shortstop pivot, Harrelson +1. A 1-5, they turn the double play. They got it. That'll be 2 outs. Torre will come in to score, though. McCarver goes to third. Shannon and Javier are out, but the Cardinals are on the board 1-0. So they trade the run for the 2 outs. So it is 1-0 Redbirds. So they do get the double play, and that was a 4-6-3. But McCarver gets the third and the run scored. And now they'll bring up the shortstop, Dow Maxville. 175 average, 2 homers, and 32 RBIs. But now 2 outs here in the top of the second. Seaver will pitch. Seaver, 2-2. Range play at the park. Shea Stadium, 2-3. It's a ground ball to second base. That ball is hit to Wayne Garrett. His range is a 2. He's not getting it. It'll be a base hit. Maxville will get a single. McCarver will come in to score, and the Cardinals now have a 2-0 lead on the Mets. Stadium groans. Maxville gets himself a base hit here, now 2-0. And that will bring up the pitcher, Bob Gibson, and he could hit. 246 average, 1 homer, and 8 RBIs in 69. Gibson is a definite hitting threat. Strategy roll, nothing on the 13. Maxville stays at first. Seaver, 1-6. That's an automatic out, and that is going to be a fly ball hit to left. Cleon Jones will go ahead and get it. He'll make the catch and retire the side. 2 runs, 2 hits, and a couple of walks. Cardinals are on the board 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the second. Gibson back on the mound. Leading off for the Mets will be the left fielder, Cleon Jones. Very good. Had an excellent year in 69, a 340 average, 12 homers, 75 RBIs. Definitely one of the better hitters that year. Gibson will pitch. Gibson, 2-2, walk 2, ball 4. He'll walk Jones. So now Gibson gives up the leadoff walk. And now the first baseman, Ed Kranepool. I always felt he was one of the more underrated first basemen in Mets history. 238 average, 11 homers, 49 RBIs. I felt he was a solid player his entire career. Infield, a double play depth. Strategy, nothing on the 5. Jones will stay where he is. Kranepool does get the hit and run choice, but he is going to swing away since Kranepool does have a good home run power against righties. Gibson will pitch. Gibson, 1-3 against the lefty. That's a walk plus 10, and that will be ball 4. So Seaver had some trouble in the top of the second. Gibson has trouble in the bottom of the second, as he's now walked 2 batters. And now the third baseman, Ed Charles, 207 average, 3 homers, 18 RBIs. XESG2 joins us here at Shea Stadium. I'm from Baltimore, so my opinion of any New York team in any sport is always negative. I understand. Strategy roll, nothing on the 14. Runners at first and second. Gibby will go ahead and pitch. Gibson, 1-5. That's a range play at the park. Shea Stadium, 4-4. Ground ball to short. Double play depth. The shortstop is Maxville. His range is a 4, but a double play depth, it's a 3. Nope, that's going to be a base hit past short. It'll be a single. Jones is an absolute speedster. He will easily score from second. Kranepool, he will hold at second base. Only a base running rating of 2. Charles gets a base hit, and the Mets get 1 back. It's 2-1. So Charles comes through with a big hit there. Runners on first and second, still nobody out. And now that'll bring up the catcher, Jerry Grody. Does anybody here have a problem if I say that Jerry Grody was an underrated catcher? 252 average, 6 homers, 40 RBIs. And he was a beast behind the plate. Jerry Grody, I thought, was solid. Almost Hall the very good, but I always felt he was underrated. Sports Time Machine, Utah Mike joins us here at Shea Stadium. So bases are loaded now 2-1. Strategy roll again. Nothing on the 2. No, Kranepool will stay put. Gibson will go ahead and pitch. Gibson, 4-5. That's a possible error. Grody, 5-2. It's a ground ball to third. That ball is hit to Mike Shannon. His error rating is a 10. That's a 13. He will not make an error. Now we got to see where the ball was hit to. And that is hit right down. That is hit towards the line. So a double play would go 5-3. So it's 3-3-4, no pivot. So a 1-4, it's going to be a 5-3. It's going to be a 5-3 double play. They'll get it. So Kranepool tags the bag at third, throws to first to get Grody. Charles is on at second, and that is 2 outs. So he does turn the double play. As Kranepool is out, Charles goes to second on a G5-3 double play. 2 down. And now that'll bring up the shortstop, Bud Harrelson. Recently passed away. May he rest in peace. 248 average, no homers, 24 RBIs in 69. 2 outs now. Tying run on at second. Strategy. That is a 1. Charles will stay where he is. Gibson will pitch. Gibson, 3-3. Home run chance. But Harrelson has 0, so it's not happening. Harrelson, 2-4. But he does get a base hit to center field. That'll be a single. Will it score Charles? With 2 outs, his base runner's a 5. Single to center, a 0, a 1-5. Charles will score. He does. Harrelson gets an RBI single. This game is tied. Stadium in section 518 cheer. Yay! So Harrelson comes through with a big-time hit. And now that'll bring up the pitcher, the terrific one, Tom Seaver. Not that great a hitter, though. 121 average and 6 RBIs in 69. Strategy roll, nothing on the 10. Harrelson stays put. Gibson, 3-4, strikeout, 8, swing and a miss, struck him out. And that's the second strikeout for Gibson. And the inning is over. 2 runs, 2 hits, a couple of walks. We're tied at 2 after 2. In a big pitching matchup between 2 of the greatest of all time. We go to the top of the third. Seaver back on the mound. Leading off for the Cardinals will be Lou Brock, and he's 0 for 1. Seaver will go ahead and pitch. Seaver, 4-2, strikeout, 1, swing and a miss, struck him out. And that is the second strikeout for Seaver. Second time Brock has gone down on strikes. It'll bring up Flood. Flood is 0 for 1. Seaver will pitch. Seaver, 2-6, possible error. Flood, 3-3, ground out to short. That ball is hit to Bud Harrelson. His error rating is an 8. That's a 5. He's going to pick it up, drop it, and Flood will be safe. That's going to be that will be an E6 on Harrelson. First error of the game for the Mets. They had 1 error in the game historically, so there's the 1 error. So Flood reaches by a bad play by Bud Harrelson. Infield double play. Next batter is Pinson. Pinson is 0 for 1. Flood had 9 stolen bases, and he's not getting any here. Seaver will go ahead and pitch. Seaver, 5-3, wild pitch. Yep, to the backstop it goes, and Flood goes to second. Wild pitch by Seaver. And now that puts the go-ahead run at second base here. Now the infield has to play back. Re-roll the strat. Nothing happening here. Seaver will go ahead and pitch. Seaver, 3-6. Against the lefty, it's an automatic out. And that's going to be a ground ball to third. That'll get taken care of there by Charles. The throw goes to first for the out. Flood's got very good speed. And he'll actually make it to third on the 6. So it's a slow rolling grounder to third. Flood will make it to third base. A 6 is the only way he could have done that. And now the runner at third base. 2 outs, though. Here's Torrey. Torrey got a base hit his first time up. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 9. Seaver will go ahead and pitch. Seaver, 4-6, strikeout 10. Called strike 3 on Torrey. He got him, and the inning is over. Third strikeout by Torrey. That was right down the middle. No runs, no hits. A wild pitch and an error. And Flood is stranded at third base. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Gibson back on the mound. Leading off for the Mets will be Tommy Agee, and he's 0 for 1. Tied at 2 now, bottom of the third here in this big matchup. Marquee game between the Cardinals and the Mets, Gibson and Seaver. Gibson, 4-4 against a righty. That's a strikeout plus 10. That's an 18. That'll go ahead, be a swing and a miss and a steer right out. 1 down. Third strikeout for Gibson. He had 269 of them. Here's Gaspar. Gaspar is 0 for 1. Gibson with the pitch. Gibson, 1-5. Range play at the park. Shea Stadium, 2-2. Ground ball to short. The ball is hit to Dow Maxville. His range is a 4. That's a 6. It'll get past him for a base hit. Gaspar gets a single. A seeing eye single right past Maxville. No way he could get that one as Gaspar hit that way out of his reach. Go ahead, run on first. Double play depth is called. And here comes Garrett. Craig Scarborough joins us here at Shea Stadium. Yes, it's good to see you there, Craig. Garrett is 0 for 1. Gaspar had 7 stolen bases, and he's not getting any here. Gibson will go ahead and pitch. Gibby, 3-5 against the lefty. It's a blank. Garrett, 2-3, and that's a fly out to right. Going after that is Pinson, and he will put it away for out number 2. 2 outs. Here comes Jones. Jones walked his first time up, and that is a 1. Gaspar gets the steal sign. 14, nothing from Gibson. And McCarver's a +1, a 1-15. He had 7 stolen bases. But Jones has got very good power. I think you let Jones swing. They'll call off the steal. Gibson will pitch. Gibson, 3-1, blank. Jones, 1-3, and nope, he grounds it to short. That'll be easily handled by Maxville. And he's gonna throw to second against Gaspar, and that will end the inning. No runs and a hit for the Mets. After 3, still tied at 2. Top of the 4th. Leading off for the Birds will be Tim McCarver, and he walked his first time up. Tied at 2 here in this good game. The Cardinals historically won this game 3-1. Seaver, 6-3, hit by pitch, 4. Yep, he just plunked him. Pop, ouch. McCarver's a 3, but Seaver a +1 makes him a 4. That is a 4, and he'll plunk McCarver. So a hit batter, first hit batter of the game. And now bring up Shannon. Shannon walked his first time up, infield double play. McCarver had 4 stolen bases. He's not getting any here. Seaver will go ahead and pitch. Seaver, 6-6 at the park. Shea Stadium, 4-6. And that is a blank. We will have a rare play with men on. Rare plays, men on. 43. Grounder to third base who throws in the dirt, making the first baseman scoop the ball. Resolve play using a range play check for the first baseman to see if he scoops the ball. Okay, so it's a ground ball to third. So we got a range play, and that is Ed Cranepool. His range is a 3. Nope, he's not going to get it, and that's going to be an E5. So McCarver's going to be safe at second, and Shannon will be safe at first. So that is an error. That is an error on Ed Charles. So that is an E5. And that is the second error on the Mets in the ball game. So now runners at first and second with nobody out due to a hit by pitch and an error. The batter now is Javier. Javier is 0 for 1. Strategy roll. And that is a 1. McCarver gets the steal sign, actually, but he's staying put. Seaver can't believe right now Mets defense is not helping him out. Seaver, 2-6. Possible error. Javier, 1-2. Fly ball, center field. That ball is hit to Tommy Agee. His error rating is a 4. That's an 11. He'll make the catch for out number 1. McCarver, base runner 3, hit to center, -2. Agee a 0. McCarver can take third on a 1. Nope, they'll stay at second base. It wasn't deep enough. And that's 1 out. So a fly out to center. The next batter is Maxville. Maxville got a base hit his first time up. Anything on Strat? Nope, nothing happening. Maxville gets the bunt sign, but he'll swing away because Gibson is the next batter. Seaver will pitch. Seaver, 2-6. Again, possible error. Maxville, 5-3. That's a line drive to short. Now that's an automatic out. The question is there an error on a throw? Now that is a 3, and the batter, the shortstop is Bud Harrelson. His error rating is an 8. It will be a throwing error if he tries to get somebody out. So it's a line out to short. So a 1, 2, or a 3, there's going to be an error. As a 1. So he actually tried to go ahead and throw him out at first, and that is going to be an error. McCarver and Shannon will move up a base. And I think that's just a 1. I think is that with 2 outs out of 1 base over 2. I don't get that often. Let me just make sure here. There should be a throwing error. Otherwise, 1 base error attempting a double, who the chart says. Okay, so it's only a 1 base error. So it would not a double play, but the runners move up. So it is a 1 base error. But that's all it is. So it's an L6 and then an E6. And that is the second error on the Mets in this inning. And now there are 2 outs. So now runners at second and third. Maxville is automatically out. And now the batter will be Gibson. Gibson is 0 for 1. Again, Seaver in a jam here. That's the third error for the Mets in this game. Seaver will strategy roll first. Nothing on the 6. Seaver will pitch. Seaver, 1-4. That's a blank, not tired. Gibson, 3-1, and he grounds it right back to Seaver. Seaver will get out of the inning, throws it over to first, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, 2 errors, a hit by pitch, but the Cardinals don't get anything. And we will go to the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the 4th inning. Leading off for the Mets will be Edward Cranepool, and he walked his first time up. Gibson, he is on the mound. Gibby, 2-4, that's at the park. Shea Stadium, 5-4, that's a home run to center field against a righty. Cranepool needs a 15, that's an 11, and that ball pretty much went over the center field wall, and it is not coming back. Kaboom! That ball is high, deep, gone! Home run, Ed Cranepool! Mets take the lead. Stadium and Section 518 cheer. Yay! That was a good pitch by Gibson. That was just Cranepool powering it out. And he sends that one over the center field wall. The Mets have a 3-2 lead. Next batter is Charles. Charles got a single his first time up. Gibson, he'll go ahead and pitch. Gibson, 5-2, walk 4, and that's ball 4. And now Charles will walk. So Charles draws a base on balls. That's a third walk given up by Gibson. And now the batter is Grody. Grody is 0 for 1, infield a double play. Charles at 4 stolen bases, none here. Gibson will go ahead and pitch. Gibson, 6-1, error on a throw. Grody, 6-1. Nope, that's going to be a fly out to center field. Kurt Flood will come under it and get that and make the catch. Charles goes back to first. Here's Harrelson. Harrelson got a single his first time up. And nothing on the... Well, actually, Charles gets the steal sign to, 13. McCarver plus 1 is a 14. Harrelson does not have much power. You know what? I'm going to send him. Charles is on his way to second. McCarver gets up and throws. A 1-14. He is safe. And he is. Charles will steal second base. Stolen base for Ed Charles. And now they'll re-roll the strat. And that's a 10. This time Charles stays at second. Charles only had 4 stolen bases in 69. He gets 1 here. Gibson will now pitch to Harrelson. Gibson, 1-5. Range play at the park. Shea Stadium, 2-3. Ground ball to second. That ball was hit to Julian Javier. His range, the infield is back. His range is a 3. That's a 2. He's got it. Nice play by Javier. He'll throw to first to get the out. And Charles will move to third. So now here is the terrific one. Seaver struck out his first time up. 2 outs here. Bottom of the 4th, 3-2 Mets. Strategy, nothing on the 19. Gibson will go ahead and pitch. Gibson, 3-1. That's a blank. Seaver gets the swing. Seaver, 1-3, and he grounds it to third. Taken care of there by Shannon. Shannon takes his time over to first, and the inning is over. 1 run on 1 hit. A stolen base, a solo home run by Ed Kranepool, and the Mets have a 3-2 lead after 4. Haven't seen any movement in the chat lately. Is everything okay out there? Just like to make sure you guys are still with me. Sometimes you never know. The internet might kind of crash, and I might not know it, although it says I'm doing all right. But I just want to make sure everybody is still out there and enjoying the game. Thank you very much there, Phoenix. Top of the 5th, 3-2 Mets. Leading off for the Cardinals will be Lou Brock, and he's 0 for 2. He struck out twice. Seaver will go ahead and pitch. Seaver, 2-4, blank. Brock, 3-2, ground out to third, taken care of there by Ed Charles. And he'll throw it over to first. Next batter is Flood. Flood is 0 for 2, but reached on an error. Working on some content. Okay. Seaver will pitch to Flood. Seaver, 5-3, wild pitch, ball 1. 1-1, error on a grounder. Flood, 3-2, and nope, that's a pop out to third base. Charles is going to be in foul territory getting to that one, and he'll make the catch. 2 outs, here comes Pinson. Pinson is 0 for 2. Seaver, a 4-3 strikeout, 8, swing and a miss, strikeout, and the inning is over. That'll be the 4th strikeout for the terrific one. And 1, 2, 3, go the Cardinals. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Gibson and Seaver. Really can't do much better than that, at least at this time of the era. Top of the order for the NYM, here is Tommy Agee, and he's 0 for 2. Gibson will go ahead and pitch. Gibson, 2-4 at the park. Shea Stadium, 1-6, and it's grounded right at the catcher. That'll be picked up by McCarver, and he'll throw it over to first for the out. Next up is Gasper. Gasper 1 for 2 with a single. Webb Johnson joins us here at Shea Stadium. Gibson will pitch. Gibson 3-4, strikeout 12. That just misses. Gasper 4-5, and it's a fly out to center. Kurt Flood will come in a little bit and grab it 2 away. Now the batter is Garrett. Garrett is 0 for 2. Gibson with the pitch. Gibson 6-2 at the park. Shea Stadium 3-2, and that's a ground out to first. Joe Torre will snare it. He'll take it himself to the bag, and that will end the inning. 1, 2, 3, go the Metropolitans. After 5, it is 3-2 in favor of the blue and orange. Ben Witz joins us here at Shea Stadium. Better late than never. Whenever you guys can get here, it is okay. I usually start my regular season games at 7:30 there, Ben. I don't, 8 o'clock is only for a couple of games I may do a season. For instance, opening day and the All-Star game I'll usually start. Everything else is usually at 7:30. I want to get the game in so I can get some rest before, on a school night. On a school night. So it would be 6:30 your time there, Ben. Although tomorrow's the 4th of July, I don't have any school tomorrow. We go to the top of the 6th. Leading off for the Cardinals will be Joe Torre. Torre 1 for 2 with a single. Seaver will go ahead and pitch. Seaver 6-6 at the park. Shea Stadium getting a lot of work. Shea Stadium 6-5, and that is a fly to right. Gasper says he's got it, and he does. 1 out. Next up is McCarver. McCarver is 0 for 0. Walked and got hit by a pitch. Doesn't have an official at bat. Seaver will pitch. Seaver 4-2, strikeout 9. That will miss. McCarver 4-3, and it's a ground out to second base. Garrett will get it, and he'll throw to first. Next batter is Shannon. Shannon is 0 for 1, walked and reached on an error. You should get your inside pitch game on Monday. Chris works very, very quickly, and remember, he just came back from his vacation. He handles things very fast. There are not that many people that get a game or a season out as fast as he does. One of the reasons why he does all his printing in-house. All of this is being done by him, all the printing and everything. Remember also, if there are any errors that you find on a card, that's a printed card, mistakes such as color or something doesn't look right, please email him a picture of it. He will send you a replacement. If it's a PDF, he'll fix it. Seaver will now pitch to Shannon. Shannon 0 for 1. Seaver 3-3, error on a throw. Shannon 2-2, and that's a ground out to second base. That ball is hit to Wayne Garrett. His error rating is a 5. That's a 1. He's going to throw and make an error. Cranepool's range is a 3, and it will get past him. Shannon's base running rating is a 3, and he'll take second on the throw. Wow. Mets not playing Keystone Cops out there. That is an E4. And that is the 4th error on the Mets in this game. They only had 1 historically. So Mike Shannon takes second base, and Seaver not happy with his defense. And it allows Julian Javier to come up now with the tying run at second base. Still 2 outs here, top of the 6th. Seaver can't believe it. 4 errors on the Mets here, and yet they lead the game. Strategy roll, nothing on the 15. Shannon stays at second. Seaver will pitch. Seaver 3-3, again error on a throw. Javier 2-3. That's a power hit to right field. That's a 1, and that's going to be a single. That's going to be a base hit to right field. Now, is there a throwing error? We'll find that out in a moment. First, we got to see if Shannon would score. Now, Shannon with 2 outs, his base running rating is a 4. A single to right -1 is a 3. Now a 1 to 3, Shannon would score. It is a 3. Now he does. Now the question is there a throwing error? The right fielder is Gasper. His error rating is an 8. It's a 5, and he makes a throwing error trying to get Shannon, which means Shannon will score, and Javier will wind up at second. Another error. So Shannon scores. Javier gets a single, and then it's an E9. He winds up at second on the bad throw. That is the 5th error on the Mets, and it's tied at 3. Stadium groans. So Javier automatically scores on it, but the batter does take second on the throwing error. It's tied at 3. And yeah, Phoenix, I think we need the Benny Hill music tonight. That is the 5th error on the Mets. And now the batter is Maxville. Maxville is 1 for 2, singled. And Seaver cannot believe this. And now we're tied at 3. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 12. Seaver will pitch to Maxville. Seaver, 1-6. That's an automatic out. And that's going to be a fly out to left field. Cleon Jones will go ahead and get it, and he'll make the catch. 1 run, 1 hit, 2 errors, and the Cardinals have tied this up at 3. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think 5 errors is the highest amount of errors I think I've had in a game. By one team. As Chuck Rawlings joins us here at Shea Stadium. You thought this was 1969, not 1962. How do you know? Bottom of the 6th, leading off for the Mets, will be Cleon Jones, and he is 0 for 1 with a walk. Gibson will go ahead and pitch. Gibson, 4-4 against the righty, strikeout plus 10, that's a 7. Swing and a miss, struck him out. That is the 4th K for Gibson. 1 out. Batter now is Cranepool. Cranepool hit a bomb his last time up. He's 1 for 1 with a walk. Gibson with the pitch. Gibson, 5-4, strikeout 5. Got him. Called strike 3 on Cranepool anyway. Struck him out. 5th K for Gibson. 2 down, and here's Charles. Charles 1 for 1, a single and a walk. Gibson, 2-2, walk, 19 is high. Charles, 3-6, and that's a fly ball to right. Veda Pinson will go ahead and get to it, and he'll make the catch and retire the side. 1, 2, 3, go the Metsies. Tied at 3 after 6. And I'm pretty sure Gil Hodges has just given his defense a big-time talking to in the dugout as we go to the top of the 7th. Leading off for the Cardinals will be Bob Gibson, and yes, he will bat. Gibson is 0 for 2. Seaver will pitch. Seaver, 5-3, wild pitch, ball 1. 3-6 against a righty. Home run result. But Gibson has a 0 against righties, so it's not happening. But Gibson gets the swing. 3-2, and Gibson gets a base hit past first, and he has a single. Gibson, a leadoff base hit, and he will get to first base. DH? I don't need no stinking DH. So the go-ahead run on first, infield double play. Here comes Brock. And Brock is 0 for 3. Badger and Burnmouth fan joins us here at Shea Stadium. Strategy roll, Gibson will stay where he is. Seaver will pitch. Seaver, 2-2, range play at the park. Shea Stadium, 2-3, ground out to second base. That ball was hit to Garrett. Garrett's range is a 2, but at double play depth, it's a 1. And that's a base hit. That'll go past second base. Gibson does have good speed. He'll make third. Brock gets to first. Runners in the corners, nobody out. Runners in the corners. And the next batter is Flood. Seaver can't believe the game he's having. Infield is going to come in. And the batter now is Flood. He is 0 for 3, but reached on an error. Mets have 5 errors in this game. Seaver will go ahead and pitch. Strategy roll first. A 5. Brock gets the steal sign. 16-0. And Grody a -3, a 1-13. Gibson, however, will not try to steal home. They're going to, you know what? Runners to the corners and nobody out. Brock at 53 stolen bases. I am not going to send him. I'm going to let Flood swing. They'll call off the steal, and they'll let Flood swing. Seaver with the pitch. Seaver, 1-6, automatic out. And that's going to be a fly ball to right field. That'll be caught by Gasper for out number 1. Flood is a sacrifice fly of 1. Does not bring in Gibson that way. Gibson got good speed. Base runner 4. Right fielder Gasper, though, very good arm, a -2. A 1-2, Gibson will score. He does, and the Cardinals take the lead. Stadium and Section 518 groan. Sacrifice fly now makes it 4-3 Cardinals. Brock stays at first. Infield now a double play. Here comes Pinson. Pinson is 0 for 3. 4-3 Cardinals. And right now the fans are saying, where's our defense? Strategy roll. That's an 11. Brock will stay where he is. Seaver will pitch. Seaver, 5-1. That's at the park. Shea Stadium, 3-2. It's a ground out to first. Can they turn the double play? 2-3-3. Shortstop, pivot Harrelson, +1. 1-4. It's a double play. They got it. Side retired. 3-6-3 double play, but 1 run on 2 hits. And a sacrifice fly. The Cardinals have now lead it 4-3 here. And we are at the 7th inning stretch. Sing, take me out to the ball game. I'll be right back. Don't forget, we still have 10-minute ticker coming up after tonight's game. Our next matchup will be tomorrow night. Even though tomorrow is the 4th of July, we're still going to have 4th of July baseball. We are taking a trip to Cleveland Municipal Stadium, as I know Chuck Rawlings will be there tomorrow night as the Detroit Tigers take on the Cleveland Indians. Denny McClain will be going for the Tigers, and Sonny Siebert will be going for the Indians. So that'll be tomorrow night's game on the 4th of July. So I know you guys are not going to want to miss that. A good matchup at Cleveland Stadium. A game between the Tigers and the Indians. Denny McClain and Sonny Siebert tomorrow night on the network. We go to the bottom of the 7th here. Cardinals have a 4-3 lead. The Mets are playing Keystone Cops out there. Leading off for the Mets is going to be Jerry Grody, and he is 0 for 2. Gibson still got plenty in the tank. He can pitch to 36 batters before he tires, which means he can go through the lineup 4 times before he actually gets fatigued. Talk about pitching in the 60s, where you're lucky if you get through the lineup twice today. Gibson will pitch to Grody. Gibson, 6-6, wild pitch, ball 1. 3-6, walk 10, and that's ball 4. He just walked him. Gibson mad, man, should have been a strike. But Grody draws the leadoff walk. He'll go to first. And the next batter will be Harrelson. Harrelson 1 for 2 with a single. Infield a double play depth. Strategy roll. That is a 10. Grody stays where he is. Gibson will pitch. Gibson 2-5. Range play. Harrelson 3-2. It's a ground ball to second base. That ball is hit to Julian Javier. His range is a 3, but a double play, it's a 2. Nope, it's going to be a base hit past second. It'll be a single. Grody does not have the speed. He'll have to hold at second base. And now runners at first and second, no one out. And now the batter is Tom Seaver, but he is tired, and they're going to take him out of the game. So Seaver is going to leave with a chance at the loss, unless the Mets can do something here. So Seaver coming out of the game, and why not here? You got runners at first and second, and the Mets will bring in a pinch hitter, and it is going to be Ken Boswell. 279 average, 3 homers, 32 RBIs. Boswell will bat against Gibson. Runners at first and second here. Bottom of the 7th, a 4-3 game between the Cardinals and the Mets. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 7. Nobody moves. Gibson will go ahead and pitch. Gibson, 2-2, walk 8, and it's ball 4. The bases are loaded. Gibson has walked. The bases loaded. No one out. And the fans are on their feet, and a big chance for AG. AG is 0 for 3. He is due. At least the urine trial should be working at the Mistake by the Lake in 1969. So bases loaded here, no one out. The infield's going to play in, and Bob Gibson will pitch to AG. AG 0 for 3. Fans here at Shea Stadium are on their feet. Section 518 chugs a cold one here, hoping that maybe Gibson makes a mistake. If he does, that ball is going to be gone. AG had 26 bombs in 69. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 17. Nobody moves. AG is not bunting. He will swing. Gibson will pitch. Gibson, 4-5. Possible error. AG, 1-2. And against the righty, he comes through. And that's going to be a double into right field. Grody will come in to score. Harrelson will come in to score. The right fielder is Veda Pinson. His error rating is a 1. That's a 12. He will not make an error. The question is, does Boswell score? Base runner 4, double to right, -1, a 1-3. Boswell will score. No, it's a 6. Boswell's on at third. AG is on at second. It is a 6. Right fielder Pinson, a 0 arm. A 1-3. There could be a play. There is. Boswell coming home. A 2-5. He is out. No, Boswell will score, and AG is caught up in a rundown between second and third. AG's base running rating is a 4. He's caught in a rundown. He's caught in a rundown. Let's see, does he get to third? It's a 4, and he is out. AG is thrown out at third, trying to gets caught in the rundown. So he is tagged out, but the 2 runs come in, and the Mets have a 5-4 lead. Stadium cheers. Yay! So 2-run score. Boswell is out at third. I'm sorry, no, Boswell scores, my bad. Boswell scores. It's Agee who's out. So he gets a double, but he's out at third. So it's 6-4. That's a bases clearing double. But the run did score, so he does clear the bases. But Tommy Agee is thrown out and was caught in a rundown, and he's tagged out by going to third. 6-4 Mets. Yes, the bases are loaded. I just caught myself, Phoenix Knight. All the runs scored, except for Agee being thrown out at third. 6-4 Mets on a big-time, big hit by Tommy Agee. And now the batter is Gasper. There is one out. Gasper's 1 for 3. And they're going to let Gibson pitch. Try to get out of the inning here. So 1 out, now 6-4 Mets. And Gibson will pitch. 2-3 against the switch left, blank. Gasper, 4-2, and against the righty, it's a ground out to second base. That'll get taken care of by Javier. And the throw to first for out number 2. 2 down, here's Garrett. Garrett is 0 for 3. Gibson with the pitch. Gibson, 4-5, possible error. Garrett, 4-2, ground ball to first. That ball is hit to Joe Torre. His error rating is a 3. That's a 19. He'll make the play, and Torre will toss it to Gibson, who's covering, and that will do it. What an inning. 3 runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, and the Mets have taken a 6-4 lead after 7. Stadium in Section 518 cheer. Yay! We go to the top of the 8th. Leading off for the Cardinals will be Joe Torre. Torre is 1 for 3. Mets need a pitcher. And let's see who they're going to bring on to pitch. They got 2 righties and a lefty. They're going to try to see if they can see if they can save Ron Taylor for the well, they could use McGraw too. Coming on to pitch for the Mets is going to be Ron Taylor. 9 wins, 4 losses, 13 saves, a 2.72 ERA. Taylor will come on to pitch, and he will go up against Joe Torre. So top of the 8th inning, 6-4 Mets. Actually 5 errors, Ben Witz. So Taylor will go ahead and pitch to Torre in the top of the 8th. Taylor will pitch. Taylor, 5-2, wild pitch, ball 1. 5-4 against the righty. It's an automatic out. That doesn't happen very often. And it's a ground out to short. Taken care of there by Bud Harrelson. And that is out number 1. 1 down. The batter is McCarver. McCarver is 0 for 1. Walked and got hit by a pitch. Yeah, the errors is what really did it for Tom Seaver. Taylor will pitch to McCarver. Taylor, 2-5 against the lefty, blank. McCarver, 6-3, and it's a fly ball to center field. Getting on that will be Tommy Agee, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. 2 outs. Next batter is Shannon. Shannon walked and reached on an error twice. Taylor will go ahead and pitch. Taylor, 5-5, error on a throw. Shannon, 1-5. That's a power hit to right field. That's a 17 against the righty. That's way too high. And going after that is the right fielder Gasper. He will get to it, make the catch, and retire the side. Nice job by Ron Taylor to keep the Cardinals from getting anything. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 1, 2, 3. Go the Cardinals. Leading off for the Mets in the bottom of the eighth will be Cleon Jones. And Gibson is not tired, but they're going to take him out, giving up 6 runs. That will be it for Gibson. The Cardinals will go to the bullpen here. And let's see, right, left, right. Who are they going to bring in to pitch? Coming on to pitch for the Cardinals is going to be Gary Weslowski. 3 wins, 9 losses, save a 3.39 ERA. Weslowski will be on the Montreal Expos later in the season. He is on the Cardinals at this time. So Weslowski will come on to pitch against Cleon Jones. Bottom of the 8th, 6-4 Mets. Mets looking for some insurance. Weslowski, 6-4, walk, 15, just missed. Jones, 2-1, base hit. He hits that one into right field. It'll be a single for Jones. Jones gets his first hit of the game. The next batter is Cranepool. Cranepool is 1 for 2, a bomb and a walk. Infield a double play depth. Strategy rolls are still on. Jones at 16 stolen bases. That is a 6. He's not going anywhere. Cranepool gets the hit and run, though. I believe he is a 5. So, yes, so that he gets the hit and run. But Cranepool against righties, he can hit home runs. He will swing away. Weslowski with the pitch. Weslowski, 5-3, strikeout. 16 is high. Cranepool, 5-5, and against the righty, Cranepool hits one into center field, and that's going to be a double. Cleon Jones, a base running of 5, double to center, -1, a 1-4. Jones will score. He does. Cranepool, a base running rating of 2. Here comes the throw to the plate. Does Cranepool take third? No, he holds at second base. But the Mets get some insurance. It's 7-4 Mets. Stadium in Section 518 cheer. Yay! So Ed Cranepool comes through with a big-time double to bring in an insurance run. And now the batter is Charles. Charles is 1 for 2 with a walk and a single. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th. Cranepool on at first. Strategy rolls are now off. Weslowski will go ahead and pitch. Weslowski, 2-6. That is a blank. Charles, 1-2. Ground out to short. Taken care of there by Maxville. The throw goes to first for the out. And Cranepool, who'll hold at second base. 1 out. And the next batter is Grody. Grody is 0 for 2 with a walk. Ron McGrath joins us here at Shea Stadium. Cranepool on at second. Weslowski will go ahead and pitch. 1-1, that's at the park. Shea Stadium, 6-5, and that's a fly out to center field. Kurt Flood says he's got it. He'll make the catch for out number 2. Cranepool has a base runner 2, but automatically hit the center field. It's already a -2 adjustment, which makes him a 0. I will not send him. He will stay at second base. So 2 outs. And now here's Harrelson. Harrelson 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Mets now lead 7-4. Doug Hunt joins us here at Shea Stadium. So Cranepool on at second. Mets have a 7-4 lead here. Weslowski will go ahead and pitch. Weslowski, 2-5. That is a blank. Harrelson, 2-2. And that's a fly ball to center field. And Kurt Flood says he has it. He will make the catch and retire the side. 1 run, 2 hits for the Mets. They have a 7-4 lead here after 8. But will we see some 9th inning magic? I know Section 518 does not want to see any 9th inning magic. We go to the top of the 9th. Mets lead 7-4. Ron Taylor can pitch to 2 more batters before he tires. He will stay out there. Julian Javier will lead off for the Cardinals, and he is 1 for 3. Taylor will pitch. Mets up, back and forth game. A very good baseball game this was between the Cardinals and the Mets. Taylor will now pitch to Javier. Taylor, 1-3, hit by pitch. 20 is high. Javier, 5-5, and it's a ground ball to first. Cranepool says he'll take it himself, and that will be out number 1. Next batter is Maxville. Cardinals may be going to the bench here because Maxville not a good hitter. And they are going to do that. So Maxville's going to come out of the game. And coming on to pinch hit for the Cardinals is going to be Bob Johnson. 302 average, 2 homers, 11 RBIs. Bob Johnson will be on the Oakland Athletics later in 69. He is on the Cardinals at this time. Taking over at shortstop, if the game goes any further, will probably be Steve Huntz. But Bob Johnson will pinch hit for the Cardinals here. 1 out for the Cardinals. So Ron Taylor will pitch to Johnson. 1 out here, top of the 9th. 7-4 Mets. Taylor, 2-5 against the righty. Strikeout. 19 is high. Johnson, 2-3, and it's a ground ball to short. But Harrelson will go ahead and get that and throw to first for out number 2. Last chance for the Cardinals. Gary Wisniewski will be called back. The Cardinals will bring on another pinch hitter. And it is going to be Dick Ricketts. 273 average, no homers, 5 RBIs. Dick Ricketts is the backup catcher to McCarver. He will pinch hit here. And Taylor is tired. They say finish the game. So Taylor's going to go ahead and pitch. The pitcher spot is 1 for 3 tonight. Fans here at Shea Stadium on their feet. Section 518 is on his feet, holding a cold one, ready to chug it. Taylor sets up against Ricketts. The fans are loud. Taylor winds up, and here comes the pitch. 1-5. That's a double question mark against the lefty. A switch left. A 1 to 11's a base hit up the middle. The 19 is too high. Ricketts will swing. 2-5, and it's a fly ball to left field. Cleon Jones is coming into it. He takes a couple of steps backwards, puts out his glove, and the ball falls into it. That's your game. The New York Mets will go ahead and come away with a big win on the Cardinals tonight. The Mets get a happy recap, a 7-4 win. Stadium and Section 518 cheers. Yay! One, two, three, go the Cardinals. And the Mets get a 7-4 win here at Shea Stadium. And a big win for the Mets against the Cardinals here. How do I determine what's on the roster? I use Action PC Baseball. Action PC Baseball. I have every season for Action PC Baseball, and while I'm doing a season on the board, I'm also having Action PC Baseball simulate along with me. So when I get to the date that I'm about to do, all I got to do is click on the team, the 2 teams that are playing, and it will give me the rosters they had for that day. It usually tells if a player is not available, it will say NA, which means either they weren't call-up or they were on a different team before. So that's how I use. I use Action PC Baseball to set the rosters up, if you wanted to know. So a big win for the Mets. Even though they had 5 errors in this game, the Mets come away with the win. Final line score coming up. For the Mets, 7 runs on 8 hits and count them, 5 errors. For the Cardinals, 4 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. The winning pitcher is Tom Seaver. He'll go ahead and get the win. Seaver takes the win. Bob Gibson will take the loss. And Ron Taylor does pick up a save. So a big win for the Mets. They get a win on the board. Remember, board wins are the first tiebreaker in case of a tie at the end of the year. But the Mets get a happy recap as they beat the Cardinals tonight. We are not done. Don't go away. It's time for the 10-minute ticker. So yes, that's how I do it there, Double D. I use Action PC Baseball, and I simulate the season along with it, or it simulates with me, so that I'll click on the next upcoming days, and will automatically simulate to the next day that I want it to do. And then, okay, I then get to the rosters for that day for the 2 games I want to play, and that's how I do it. So I use Action PC Baseball, but of course, Action PC Baseball does not simulate the season for me. FastScore takes care of that. It is now time for the 10-minute ticker, brought to you by FastScore Baseball. So the Mets will get a win tonight, 7-4. And now let's see how the rest of the majors does. April 13th, the doubleheader between Washington and Baltimore. Game 1. Senators 1-26, that is 1. Orioles 10-44, that's 4. O's get the first game. Senators 7-36, that is 3. Orioles 6-65, that is 7. And the Orioles take both. Minnesota and California. Twins 15-52, that is 6. Angels 4-46, that's 3. And that is a win for the Twins. Boston at Cleveland. Red Sox 14-34, that's 4. Indians 9-36, that's 4. We have a tie. Extra innings. Both teams roll a 2. Boston +1. Cleveland +1. It is still a tie, which means the Indians win by virtue of home field. Yankees at Detroit. Yankees 8-45, that is 4. Tigers 10-61, that is 6. A win for the Cats. Kansas City at Oakland in a doubleheader. Game 1. Royals 4-46, and that is 3. Athletics 12-41, that's 4. A's get that win. Game number 2. Kansas City 13-63, that's 8. Oakland 10-52, that's 5. They'll split the twin bill. White Sox and the Pilots. White Sox 8-21, that's 2. Seattle 12-23, and that's 3. Seattle will get the win. Cincinnati and the Braves in a doubleheader. Game 1. Reds 8-23, and that is 2. Braves 17-45, and that's 6. The Braves get the first one. Reds 16-66, that's 11. Atlanta 5-42, and that's 3. They will split the twin bill. Expos and the Cubs. Expos 3-23, and that is 1. Cubs 14-12, that's 1. It's a tie. Montreal rolls a 4, -2 is 2. Cubs roll a 6, +0, and the Cubs will win it in extras. Dodgers and the Astros. Dodgers 12-51, and that is 5. Astros 11-33, and that is 4. It's a win for the Dodgers. Phillies and the Pirates. Phillies 11-32, that's 3. Pirates 11-16, and that's 2. It's a win for the Fightin' Phils. Giants and the Padres. Giants 11-33, and that is 4. Padres -145, and that's 2. And that's going to be a win for the Giants. On to April 14th, Baltimore at Boston. Baltimore 13-31, and that is 4. Red Sox 6-13, that is 0. A win for the O's. White Sox and the Angels. White Sox 6-42, that's 3. Angels 3-54, and that's 4. It's a win for the Halos. Kansas City and the Pilots, 2 expansion teams that year. Royals 11-46, and that is 5. Pilots 7-14, that's 1. A win for the Royals. Pirates and the Cubs. Pirates 11-26, and that's 3. Cubs 8-33, and that is also 3. We have a tie. Both teams roll a 2. Pirates +0, Cubs +0. It stays a tie, which means the Cubs will win it in extras. Dodgers and the Astros by virtue of home field. Dodgers 3-31, and that is 2. Astros 7-64, that's 7. A win for the Stros. Cardinals and the Expos. Cardinals 16-44, and that's 6. Expos 7-56, and that's 5. A win for the Cardinals. Mets and the Phillies. Mets trying to get another happy recap here. Mets 11-11, and that's 0. Phillies 7-22, and that's 2. They will not get one there. On to April 15th, Baltimore at Boston. I can't guarantee that there, Brian B. Seattle versus Kansas City, San Diego versus Montreal game. Can't guarantee it. I'll see what I can do. Baltimore at Boston. Baltimore 12-12, and that's 0. Boston, actually, I'm sorry, that's 1. My bad. Don't be so quick, Robert. That's 1. Boston 10-66 wouldn't have mattered. That's 10. And the Red Sox get the win. Detroit at Cleveland. We'll have these 2 tomorrow night. Detroit 8-32, and that's 3. Indians 5-13, that's 0. Another win for the Cats. Senators and the Yankees. Senators 5-25, and that is 2. Yankees 5-15, that's 1. And the Senators beat the Yankees. Minnesota at Oakland. Twins 12-32, that is 4. Oakland 12-62, that is 7. A win for the Athletics. Pirates and the Cubs. Pirates 11-24, that's 3. Cubs 10-65, that is 8. And a win for the Cubs. Giants and the Reds. Giants 8-51, and that is 5. Reds 18-46, that's 7. That game belongs to the Reds. Braves and the Astros. Braves 11-36, 4 runs. Astros 9-62, 6 runs. Another win for the Astros. Padres and the Dodgers. Padres -266, that's 6. Dodgers 11-44, that's 5. Wow, Padres beat the Dodgers. Cardinals and the Expos. Cardinals 10-64, that is 8. Expos 6-63, and that's 6. A win for the Redbirds. Mets and the Phillies. Can the Mets get a happy recap here in this game? Mets 18-33, they will, and that's going to be 5. Phillies 6-22, and that is 2, and the Mets will have a happy recap. So 2 of my games tonight are all happy recaps. That is your 10-minute ticker. If your team won tonight, congratulations. If they didn't, there's always tomorrow. Matthew Stringer, the standings for my replays are in the Facebook group in my comments. I only post standings after the end of each month. And I will post standings at the All-Star break and, of course, standings going into the final week. So I only post standings once a month. That's how I do that. Tomorrow is the 4th of July, but we still got baseball. We will be at Cleveland Stadium as the Detroit Tigers take on the Cleveland Indians. Denny McLain will be going for the Cats against Sonny Seaver of the Indians. A good matchup in the American League tomorrow night for the 4th of July. So I hope you guys won't want to miss that. So don't miss that tomorrow night. Cats and the Indians, McLain and Seaver. Be there or be square. Matthew Stringer, Brian Patterson, Ben Witz, Chuck Rawlings, Brian B., Double D, Ron McGrath, Doug Hunt, Clee Baseball fan, Phoenix Knight, Badger and Birdmouth fan, Craig Scarborough, Webb Johnson, Vita Productions, XESG2, Sports Time Machine, Franklin Long, Frank Rosenk, Jeremy Brooks, and Brian Patterson. I hope I got everyone. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Please leave a like on your way out to the turnstiles. Subscribe if you're not done so. Make sure you hit the bell. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night for the 4th. It is a happy recap for my Mets. They beat the Cardinals tonight 7-4. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Have a good one.